Welcome to the official YouTube channel of Eternia.com. I'm your host AJ, and today we're doing an unboxing and a mini review of the Masterverse 2.0 Wave 13 Princess of Power Leech action figure. Let me repeat that. Princess of Power Leech action figure. And why I'm repeating Princess of Power is because it's been so long since we've gotten another Masterverse figure in the Princess of Power subline. It's been a long time. Look, to the left and right of Leech, I have all 6 figures that came out previously in the Princess of Power subline. To the left here, I have Catra, Grizzlor, and Hordak. And to the right, I have She-Ra, Shadow Weaver, and Frosta. And that was it. Now, when these figures started coming out, it felt like it was one after another after another. But the last figure to be released in this Princess of Power subline for Masterverse was Grizzlor. And I did that unboxing over 11 months ago. Yeah, it was almost a year to the day where I unboxed Grizzlor, and we never received a Princess of Power figure since. And it really sucked. And it's only apropos that the Master of Suckage, the Master of Suction, broke that duration of suckage. And finally, once again, we have a Princess of Power figure to open from Masterverse. So I'm so excited that the drought is over, and now we could finally take a look at that packaging. So here is the Masterverse 2.0 packaging for the Princess of Power Leech action figure. And first things first, let's just gush over this magnificent artwork. This time, the artist is Simon Ecker, and he's been doing a lot of these Masterverse packages lately. And we have been just so spoiled because his artwork is so brilliant. And this Leech package is no exception. We got this magnificent artwork of Leech using his whip, I guess, against some unforeseen enemy over here. And we have Scorpia helping him, and we have Catra in her panther form helping him. And, you know, I love the fact that anytime Catra falls off a cliff, she could just go ahead and turn into this panther and land on all 4s safely, you know, like all cats do.
No, there's only one safe way to land, on all 4s.
And you know what's really interesting here is this, I think, yeah, this is the first time that any figure of the Princess of Power subline said Masters of the Universe. You know, if we grab any of the, previous Masterverse Princess of Power figures, it always just said Princess of Power. It never said Masters of the Universe. But now in this 2.0 packaging, it actually says Masters of the Universe, Princess of Power. So I wonder if this is a legal thing. I know there's a contentious rights issue in regards to Princess of Power. I don't know, but this is the first time it says Motu on it. All right, to the left side of the package, oh, look at this. We got Grizzlor, and we got the alter ego of She-Ra shooting her gun. Actually, wait. I take that back. She's not She-Ra yet, right? She's working with Grizzlor here. So this is an Adora who's working for the Horde. She's the Force captain. And I can't wait until we get a Masterverse figure of her. You know she's got to be coming, right? If she's on this package, she's got to be. All right, and then on the side, we got more great Leech artwork. We got this masterful headshot and this body shot of him holding a crossbow. I just love it. Okay, and then on the back, we have the normal 3D rendering of the action figure. We got these 3 great shots here. It looks so cool. I love that face. Actually, look, if you look at his mouth here, it looks like he has teeth painted red. That's not the way the figure looks, right? Nah. Yeah, all the teeth on the top and the lower jaw here are painted white. But in the 3D rendering, everything except 4 teeth were painted red. You know, on the original prototype shot, he only actually had 4 teeth. You know, 2 teeth in all 4 corners of his mouth. And now at this 3D rendering, they gave him more teeth, but they painted it red. And in the final figure, he has it all painted white. So Mattel must have really been struggling with what to do with Leech's teeth. All right, well, that's a mystery. So let's take a closer look at this bio here. The bio says, Leech, evil master of power suction. A product of Evil Horde science, Leech terrorizes Etherians with his energy-draining hands. All right, now that we looked at the packaging, it's time to take a closer look at that figure. So here is the Masterverse Princess of Power Leech out of the box and in 360 degrees. And so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Okay, first impressions. When I first took him out of the box, the first thing that struck me is, wow, his skin color is a lot lighter than what we're used to. You know, if you look at the original vintage figure, or say the Filmation cartoon, or even the classics figure, Masters of the Universe fans are used to Leech having a darker green skin color. This is a lot brighter than what we're used to. But you know what? To me, honestly, this skin color works for him. I like it. I like the change. It's just like what Mattel did with Web Store, right? With the Origins and Masterverse Web Store. They really brighten up the blue. And even though I like the vintage color blue, I also like the new version. And I like this new version of Leech as well. I think the skin color really suits him. You know what the skin color actually reminds me? It actually reminds me of the New Adventures Masterverse Slushhead, you know? And actually, come to think of it, yeah, these bumps on the body remind me of Slushhead too. Do we have a lot of reuse going on here? You know, not just with Slushhead sculpting, but his paint color? Yeah, we're definitely going to have to do a comparison between those two figures. But first, let's take a closer look at that head sculpt. So here is the head sculpt of Leech, and he just looks marvelous. Oh, I love it. Actually, you know what this head sculpt reminds me of? I mean, other than obviously Leech. Have you guys ever seen the movie Return of the Jedi? And there was the villain Jabba the Hutt, and he had the ship, and underneath the ship there was this dungeon, and he had this creature named the Rancor underneath that fought Luke Skywalker. I guess maybe it's all the teeth or something, but this really reminds me of the Rancor, you know, as he's fighting Luke and Jabba's doing that laugh. But this is actually really a great Leech head sculpt. I think it's really well done. I love the teeth. I love the paint application here, and I love the tongue. There's like suction cups all over that tongue. Oh, it's so well done. And you know what? Looking at this bottom jaw, it almost looks like it's removable. Yeah, but it's not. No. But I wonder if Mattel ever considered, you know, having this removable. Like you could take this out and then they would have an alternate jaw with maybe a suction cup attached to it, you know, in honor of the vintage toy. That'd be really cool. But looking at the sculpting, I think they really did a good job. And I see a lot of similarities, you know, especially from the profile of the vintage toy in this design, and it looks really cool. Like the gills in the back also. I think this was reminiscent of the vintage toy. So overall, I think they really did a good job with this head sculpt, and yeah, I really love it. So looking at the body of Leech, I think he just looks great. I know some people are going to get hung up on the skin tone color, and I totally understand that. But if you can look beyond that, this is really a great looking figure. Oh, and I love the way these hands are sculpted. You know, they look like these frogs. And then if you turn around, if you look at the suction cups, the suction cups have teeth. Check them out. They have teeth sculpted in them. Do you know squids actually have that in their suction cups? They actually have little teeth in their suction cups. So there's real aquatic science behind it. But I love that they sculpted them into their... Oh, and they also did them on the feet. Check them out. They didn't need to do this, but they sculpted the teeth also in the feet, and I just love that. And if you notice, there's no hole for a base, you know, because he basically has two bases for feet. You know, he's got some fat feet. Did you just call my feet fat? Yes, I did. So he's going to have no problem balancing. You know, Leech is not going to need one of these on your shelf. But I just love it. I'm so impressed with this figure. You know what? I think these shoulder armor pieces are removable. Same thing with these black straps on his wrists. Yeah, let's just prove that theory. We'll pop out his arm. Yeah, that slides off. Yeah, look at that. So if you prefer to have your leech without these black wrist straps and without the shoulder armor, you don't have to. You can take them off. So in regards to articulation, I think people are really going to have a great time with this figure. I think the only thing limited is going to be the head. I mean, the head is going to swivel 360 degrees, but you're not going to get too much looking up or looking down. Man, I really wish that jaw was articulated. But other than that, I think it's going to be great. First thing I see here is double jointed elbows, so you can actually cover Leech's bad breath. You saying I have bad breath, AJ? Oh, yeah. Saying you do. So I love the flexibility there. Does he have drop-down hips? No, he doesn't have drop-down hips, but yeah, everything else is just going to be great. I mean, you could get him in some wild poses. Yeah, you're going to have fun articulating here, deciding what you want to do. Again, it would be nice if he did have that drop-down hips, because I would imagine some really, really crazy stances, but on its own, for people who like to pose figures, you're going to have fun with this one. All right, now it's time to compare the slush head versus the suck head. So if we get those figures together and first look at the paint application, the paint color used for the skin, while the skin color is close, it's no cigar. You can tell there's a slight variance between the two. If you look at the paint used for slush head skin, you can tell it's a little more yellow and has a little bit of black wash compared to Leech. So while they look very similar, it's not an exact match. But what they do have an exact match is in sculpting. So you can tell that Leech's leg is a reuse of Slush Head's leg. Same thigh, same knee, and same calf. And the same thing goes with the Slush Head arm, the top of the arm. If you look at Slush Head's shoulder and bicep and elbow, guess what? Leech reused it here. So Leech definitely has some reused parts from Slush Head. But that's not the only figure he borrowed from. He also borrowed from his buddy Grizzlor. So if you look at Grizzlor's boots, these Horde boots, well, you can tell that this sculpt here was used again on Leech for these ankle bracers. And same thing with Grizzlor's very cool bicep bandana. This is the same bandana that reappears here on Leech underneath his shoulder armor. So Leech definitely has a lot of reused parts. Surprisingly, the Horde symbol is not a reuse, but he definitely has a lot of reused parts. But you know what? I think Leech wears them well. So now let's talk Leech's accessories, and he comes with two of them, and they're both weapons. And it first starts with this very cool whip. Now, this black part here is made out of soft plastic, and what's really neat is when you stretch it out, it kind of like snaps back in place and it holds its form. And at the end of it is a hard plastic Horde symbol that actually snaps onto the forearm of Leech. So all you do is just snap it in place. And now Leech has this whipping action, and it's a really cool look for him. Now, the other accessory is this crossbow. And at first, I thought this was just a reuse of Hordex crossbow. It was going to be exactly the same sculpt. And that is true, actually, with this translucent red plastic string. But the crossbow itself is actually different. The sculpting differences are subtle, but it is actually different. And just like the whip, this clips onto the forearm of Leech like so. And now Leech is ready to go into battle. So what do I think of the Masterverse 2.0 Masters of the Universe Princess of Power Wave 13 Leech action figure? I really adore this figure. Look, I realize it's going to be an obstacle for some in regards to the skin color. They're going to look at this lighter skin color and say, that's not my Leech, and want a darker green. But if you could just get past that, you're going to realize this is a gem of a figure. That head sculpt, those hands, those feet, the suction cups on the tongue is worth the price of admission alone. And yes, it does have some reused parts, which is just a normal thing of Masters of the Universe, but he wears these reuses well. And altogether, Mattel has really put together a real solid Leech figure. And I hope you end up loving it as much as I do, because we we need to support these Princess of Power figures. If we want to see more of the Princess of Power subline, then it comes down to sales. So hopefully there's going to be a lot of people out there that buy this Leech, and Mattel realizes that there's still life in this Princess of Power subline, and they keep bringing us figures. And this is really a worthy addition to my shelf. And I think you'll find it's a worthy addition to yours as well. So that's it. I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.